Nancy Pelosi is an absolute nut job, and the people in San Francisco ought to be absolutely embarrassed and ashamed that they ever voted for this woman. Unbelievable. She just released a statement basically saying that she could have arrested Karl Rove on any given day. She could have arrested Karl Rove on any given day. And she says, hey, I'm not kidding. There's a person here in the Capitol. If we had spotted him in the Capitol, we could have had him arrested on any number of charges. I got to call BS on this, and here's why. Couple of things. Okay, first of all, it's a bold statement. It is a very bold statement to make. If Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats thought that Karl Rove had done anything that warranted him being arrested, then they had a duty to do it. They absolutely had a duty to do it. She goes on to say that she could have charged Karl Rove with contempt of Congress. Well, why didn't you? Were you derelict of duty? Were you not doing your job? I believe at the time you were Speaker of the House. Miss Minority Leader? Why didn't you have him arrested? Why didn't you charge him with contempt of Congress? This is absolute bullshit. She goes on to say she doesn't understand why the Republicans are pushing for justice for Border Patrol agent Brian Terry. Seriously? Maybe because he's dead, due to a program that was initiated by the Obama administration, carried out by Eric Holder, and now being covered up by both Attorney General Holder and the President of the United States. Maybe that's kind of a big deal. You may not think so, Miss Minority Leader, but most of the country thinks that's a big deal, and I can guarantee you, Border Patrol agent Brian Terry's family believes this is a big deal. You don't think he deserves justice? At the very least, I think that Brian Terry's family deserves to know exactly what happened and why. If what the Obama administration under Eric Holder was doing was right, proper, and good for America, then they should take ownership of it. They should let us know exactly what they had in mind. If things went horribly wrong, they should say, hey, sometimes in life things go horribly wrong, but this is what we were trying to accomplish. Of course, most of us know the truth. The truth is that they were trying to undermine the Second Amendment of the United States of America. That is a fact. It blew up in their freaking faces. Now, nobody wants to take ownership of it. Everybody wants to run for cover, either pleading the fifth or some kind of executive privilege bullshit, very reminiscent of the Nixon administration. And then you've got the former Speaker of the House talking this nonsense, trying to deflect everything. Well, I could have had Karl Rove arrested on any number of reasons on any number of. Are you freaking kidding me, Pelosi? Pull your head out of your ass. If you had a reason to arrest Karl Rove, you need to spit it out. And you need to explain why you were derelict in your duty if you didn't have him arrested. He had, as far as I can remember, Karl Rove spent a lot of time on Capitol Hill. You had all kinds of opportunities to arrest him, but you didn't. Because you're full of shit. And right now, you're shitting yourself because you're seeing your president flush his whole career in history right down the toilet. President Obama's legacy is going to be absolutely nightmarish. It started out as hope and change, the first black American president in the history of the country, 150, 60 years after the Civil War, blah, 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 blah. How great is that? Only to find out that everything about this guy's been a lie. I mean, an absolute lie. Even the books that he wrote about himself are turning out to be a complete fantasy. Do we know anything about this guy? At all. So here's Pelosi looking at this whole disaster unraveling around her, and she's talking nonsense about how she could have had Karl Rove arrested? Really? She's talking nonsense like she doesn't understand why the Republicans are pushing for justice for Border Patrol agent Brian Terry. And you know what? And as important as that is, how about justice for the families of the hundreds of Mexicans that were killed with those guns? How about justice for them? There are literally hundreds of families grieving. None of them have answers at all. The whole thing is just shameful. And I'll tell you what, Nancy Pelosi, I'm going to add you to the list of those that should resign. If for no other reason, clearly you're admitting to being derelict of your duty when you were Speaker of the House. So I would like to see, in order of importance, I would like to see President Obama resign his office. I would like to see Attorney General Eric Holder resign his office. And I would like to now see Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi resign her office. All three of them are shameful. They're a blight on this country. It makes me sick to even think that any of them have power in this country. Oh, and they have a lot of power. I only pray that the American people do the right thing and show Barack Hussein Obama the door in November. Now, I don't have any faith whatsoever that the people of San Francisco are going to do the right thing. They're going to continue to send this slug, Nancy Pelosi, to Congress. They're going to continue to do that. I don't even know what else to say about this. It's all three of them need to resign, and they need to resign ASAP. They need to resign yesterday. And I will say about Darrell Issa, thank you, sir. You are a good American. Keep fighting the good fight. I know that the left-wing media is giving you a lot of heat, but I appreciate you. On behalf of Border Patrol, Brian Terry's family, on behalf of all the victims in Mexico, I applaud you, sir, for doing your job. I would love for you to bring justice for these families. Everybody take care.